to see you. I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Betsy, and this is my friend Nicole.
Hi.
And we are here with Eco Science. Did you guys know that when Eco comes to your classroom, we love to study nature? Did you guys know that?
No.
Well, that is what I'm here to teach you about today. We're going to talk about nature. And not just nature all over the world, but nature that you can find right here in Oregon and the Pacific Northwest. Now, what kind of things do you think we could study if we're talking about nature? Like, what kind of things would you find in nature?
Rocks.
Yes, what do you think?
Trees.
Trees, what else?
Rocks.
Rocks, what else?
Animals.
Animals, yeah, what else?
Some crystals.
Some crystals, yes, what else? Monkeys. You guys, you're absolutely correct. Can I tell you something? We could go on and on and on all day about the things we can study in nature. Do you know why? Because there are so many things that you can find in nature. I'm going to ask for those hands to go down for a moment so we make sure we have enough time for our game, okay? So when Eco comes to your class, you now know what to expect, right? We're going to study nature. Well, the question is, hold that question. The question is, what are we going to study today? And I have an answer for you. We're going to study something called a habitat. Does anyone want to raise a quiet hand and tell me what you think a habitat is? What do you think a habitat is?
Lights out.
Ooh, good. Yes. That's a really good guess. Not exactly what I was thinking about. Does anyone know what a habitat is? What do you think?
I think it's a creature's place where food and a place to play and
Did you know what? You're absolutely right. A habitat is a place where an animal lives. In a habitat, do you think an animal needs to be able to find food?
yeah.
Do you think it needs to be able to find water?
Yeah.
Do you think it needs to be able to find a place where it can make a home?
Yeah.
Like if it were a bird, would it be able to make a nest there? Yeah. If it were a bunny, would it need to dig a bunny burrow? Yeah. So a habitat is a place where an animal lives. And I actually have some pictures of some habitats in Oregon that I want to show you. Okay? Now, raise your hand if you think you know what kind of habitat this is. What would you call this kind of place? What would you call this kind of place? I see a lot of very quiet, patient hands out there. Yes.
Cool. It'll be cold.
Ooh, it's a cold habitat. Absolutely. What would you call this kind of place? What would you call it?
Cold.
Ooh,
I will
cold.
call it
What is this?
a mountain of.
It's a mountain. And did you know that this is actually... It is actually a mountain that you can see from this neighborhood sometimes on a clear day. It's called Mount Hood. This is Mount Hood. What do you notice in this picture of Mount Hood? What do you notice in this picture? What do you notice?
It's with ice.
Yeah, it has ice in it. It's very cold. What are these things right here?
Trees.
Trees, yeah. So do you think an animal could live here?
Like
I think so. I think so. Right.
Like a bear.
Whoa, what about this kind of habitat? What would you call this kind of habitat? What would you call it?
Swamp.
Ooh, a swamp. I would call it a swamp. What else? Are there other words we could call this habitat?
Tree of frogs.
Ooh, I like it. You could find trees and frogs there. You're absolutely right. We could call it a swamp. Could we call it a marsh? A marsh? Have you guys heard the word marsh? Thumbs up if you've heard the word marsh.
Marshmallow.
What about wetland? What about wetland? Thumbs up if you've heard the word wetland. Yeah, so swamp, marsh, wetland. What kind of things do you notice in this picture? Somebody already mentioned they probably could find a frog here or trees. What else do you notice? I'm waiting for patient hands. I see one right here. Yes.
It can be a river.
Yeah, what do you see?
Zebras might come there.
Ooh, that's a good guess. I like that guess. Yeah.
It's a lake.
Ooh, it could have a lake in it. So it's a very wet habitat. Do you think it's pretty wet?
Yeah.
Yeah, so an animal that likes to live in the water might live here.
Like a fish.
Yeah, like a fish. Okay.
Frog.
Next up, I have this habitat. What would you call a habitat where it's like a whole bunch of grass? Kind of sounds like
A soccer field.
Med.
Meadow.
What do you think?
I've seen that habitat on TV. Me too.
trees along the edges of the meadow habitat? You're absolutely right. So an animal that likes to walk through the grass, maybe eats grass, might live in this kind of habitat. What about this kind of habitat? What kind of habitat is this? What would you call this kind of habitat? It's a forest. You're absolutely right. What do you notice? What kind of things do you see in the forest habitat? What do you see? You saw a little guy standing there next to these trees. What do you see?
Stop. There might be snakes might live there.
There could be snakes there, possibly. Yeah, so an animal that likes to live in the forest, an animal that depends on trees might live there, or an animal that likes to cruise around in that shady ground there. Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, I have one more habitat to show you.
And Roro, can you show your box so I can see?
Can I tell you something crazy? Most people do not know we have this kind of habitat in Oregon. Most people do not know that you could actually just drive for maybe 2.5 hours and get to this type of habitat. It's very dry. It's
Desert.
This is called the high desert of Oregon. It's a very dry place. But do you think animals could still live there? Do you think that it still has a little bit of rain in it, even though it's a desert? Just a little bit.
It gets cold.
Absolutely. What do you notice in this picture? What do you notice?
Snakes can be in there.
Snakes could definitely live
Yeah,
there. I have seen snakes in this kind of habitat before. Maybe a frog that's really good at being resistant to drought.
I've been in that habitat. There can be dinosaurs.
Oh, I like how you can dig up dinosaurs in this kind of habitat.
Yeah.
Can I have your 6
Voluntary
Thank you. Okay. Clap once if you're ready for the next instruction. Clap twice if you're ready. Hands on your lap if you're ready.
Okay.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I now have some animals to show you. And while I'm showing you these animals, I want you to think a lot about the kind of place they might want to live. What kind of animal is this?
Bunny.
It's a bunny. What kind of thing do you think a bunny likes to eat?
Carrots.
Likes carrots, so it likes roots?
I like
Absolutely.
carrots.
What kind of
Flowers.
green plants that grow that we have a lot of in our front yard?
Flowers.
We like to play soccer on this kind of plant.
And they grow flowers and they eat.
They like to eat things like grass. They like to eat things like roots. So
And
they might need a
flowers.
habitat that has a lot of that kind of food.
like to eat hay too.
What kind of animal is this?
Beaver.
This is a beaver, my friends. What do you think a beaver likes to eat?
Trees.
Trees. What kind of place would it like to live? A dry place or a wet, watery place? Wet, watery place, because they like to make beaver dams and beaver lodges to live in ponds and streams and rivers. Oh, what's this animal?
Turtle.
It's a turtle. Do turtles like dry habitats or wet habitats?
Wet.
Yeah, because they like to live in places like ponds, right? Okay. Ooh, what kind of things do turtles eat?
Seaweed.
They eat all kinds of things. They eat plants. They eat worms. They like to eat all kinds of things.
They eat seaweed.
Oh my goodness, are you ready for this?
Fox.
It looks like a fox and a wolf. It's actually a coyote.
Coyote.
What kind of things do coyotes like to eat? What do you think?
They live in the desert.
They do. They can live in a desert. What kind of things do they like to eat?
Persons.
Raise your hand if you think you know. What do coyotes like to eat? Yes. In the very back there. Yes.
People.
Coyotes don't eat people. They're afraid of people, believe it or not.
But they're cute. Fox.
Oh, okay. Can I give you a hint about what a coyote would like to eat? Okay, I can't give you. Oh, here it is. A coyote would like to eat something like this. A bunny. Yeah, absolutely. So there you have it. Now this is not an eagle, but it is a type of hawk. Sounds like it's an osprey, and it likes to catch fish with its talons. Talons are its sharp, pointed clawed feet. You guys know we have black bears in Oregon? Yeah. What kind of things does a black bear like to eat? They wouldn't really eat a human, but they would eat a fish. You're right. What else do they eat?
Why would they really eat?
Guess what? They'd eat roots. They'd eat grubs. They'd eat bugs. They'd eat just about anything. Who is this?
An owl.
What talons. They're
It's
sharp.
a fish. It's a fish.
Guess what? They like to eat things like mice and other small rodents.
Mice?
What about this one?
Raccoon.
Raccoon would eat just about anything it gets its little hands on. It would eat eggs. It would eat bugs. It would eat salad. It would eat garbage. It would eat all different kinds of things. Because they will literally eat just about anything. You know how I know a raccoon eats garbage? Because I've seen a raccoon eating my garbage before.
Ew.
Yeah.
What about
this guy?
I saw bunny.
Is that a bunny?
No. A squirrel.
It's a squirrel. What does squirrels eat? This is a great blue heron. If this great blue heron were standing next to me, it would be about this tall. It would be probably taller than most of you. They are very big birds, and they like to catch something that swims in the water.
Fish.
Fish and frogs. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I have an activity for you. There's a little game we're going to play where you're going to get the same cards that I showed you, and you're going to lay them out on the floor, and then you're going to choose which animal belongs to which habitat, and you're going to set your animal on the habitat you think it would live in. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, very good.
All right, my friends, it's nature, it's okay. So, groups of three. I want you to be with groups of three, so I'm going to choose just the people next to you. So 1, 2, and 3. Okay, here are your animals, and here are the homes for the animals. So someone will lay those out, and then pass out the animals. Do you want to do those? And make sure everybody is involved. Okay, we've got 1, 2, 3. Here's your habitat.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. We can get we're going to get your habitats for you in a second.
So 1, 2, 3. Here's your habitats. So lay those out. Try to space yourselves out for the other groups. Scooch through here. I'm sorry.
You and you and you are in a group together. So you guys can gather around. Right here. You're in this room right here. Take a break in the office.
I know where the coyote lives.
Antonio, yes. Take a break over here and lay out your habitat cards. Place your animals on your habitat.
No, I know. I see
Gentlemen,
one.
come over here, just so we have space.
I see one.
Not horns. High desert. And then
I see her.
divvy up the animals. Divide up amongst yourselves. Everybody's going to take a few. The beaver would love that area. Why? I think the beaver wants to be in the water. Oh, good one. I've seen all of the places like that. Oh, yeah, sure. Nice job. Oh, this one looks so happy. Smart.
Yeah, I seen it climb up the tree.
Oh, yeah. That's a happy raccoon. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You better lay your animals out. We're almost done. Ladies and gentlemen, you have 1 more minute to finish up placing your animals on your habitat.
Some forest there.
too cold.
Eduardo, how can we fill buckets instead of dippies? I have an idea. Since you have the baggie, you can say, here, Eduardo, I'll hold it open. I'll eat it. Very helping. You guys are helping each other. Did you say, can I have a fish if you ask them? Okay. I'll meet you. Cool.
Ice cream.
1, 2, 3. You have 5 minutes. Somebody says, can I please see the fish? So much. Is that all right away? You guys did an awesome job. Was that easy or hard? What do you think? Easy? It's easy to make our animals happy, right? You know where I want to live. Hi. Are there 5 here? You can build a apple. You live in the North Pole? Polar bears. And Santa. Awesome. Thank you. Thanks everybody for all your help stacking. Nice work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect.
Classy, classy, classy. Try again. Class, class, class.
Yes, yes, yes.
Uh-oh.
Got a bag of animals.
That's teacher stuff. Super expensive stuff. Get away from it.
Thank you.
Get away from it. I've told you too many times. You guys, guess how much this costs? Look at my laser. Guess how much that thing costs? $1,000. Guess how much this thing costs? $1,000. Guess how much this thing costs? Probably $1,000. Do you make any money at home, like chores? If you broke something like that, do you have $1,000 to give me?
Yeah.
Does your mom have $1,000 to give me? Oh, I bet not. I bet she would be very upset if you broke it. So, what should we do?
Don't touch it.
Don't touch it.
Anything.
Okay, was that fun?
Yeah.
Okay, everybody sit on their carpet spot. Sitting, sitting, sitting.
Movement break.
We're going to do a movement break really quick.
I really food lesson done.
I'm going to do food. I'm tired.
Where are we going to music? But it's not at the. Look what we got. We're at the West Diet.
Do you remember that when I told everybody that this is my job,
Tomorrow
not
we're
yours?
gonna have PE.
You continue to
How
touch
do you
it. It's
know?
dipping my bucket.
Because today is Wednesday and tomorrow is Thursday and it says PE. Yeah, PE is today. PE is tomorrow. Music is today. No, later. Music. I can see the music right now. Music is right there. Yes. We're gonna do music after music.